All right, welcome back. And now we're going to be going over how to take this internal CSS and add it to a dedicated external CSS page. So the very first thing I need to do is I need to add a CSS file. So I'm going to go up to where all my files are, and we're going to be using Replit this in class. And I'm going to go to add file. And when I add this file, I need to add a new CSS page. So we're going to call that style. Oops, I'm in caps lock. Style.css. And that .css at the end lets it know that this is going to be a dedicated CSS page. So if you notice, it gives it a different little icon than our HTML page. That is the CSS icon. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this internal CSS that we had. We're going to take that CSS statement. We're going to take it out and just put it right in there to our CSS page. Okay? And when we do that, we can delete this style element because we don't need it anymore. Not going to be. So if I click run now, see now all of a sudden it's not showing up, right? And because what I need to do is I need to tell this HTML page to actually look on this style.css page and look and see what all the styles are going to be. So we need to add a link to do. So we need to go link. And there's going to be two main parts to our link. The first part is going to be the relative attribute. And what we're going to write here for a CSS page is a style sheet. So now when the browser is reading through all this HTML and it gets down here and looks at the link, it knows that the type of page that it's going to be looking at is a style sheet. And now we need to actually tell it where to look. So we use the href attribute. And we need to actually tell it to look on this page. So it's pretty easy in Replit. It's in the same hierarchy as the index page, so there's no folders or anything. So we're just going to say style.css. Got to close that link tag. And so now, as the browser is reading through everything, it knows that it's going to make a link. The link is going to a style sheet, and it needs to look on that style.css page. So when I click run, it saw everything that was on that CSS page, and now we are good to go. So every page that we put this type of link on is going to look into this CSS page and pull all of these different CSS statements and apply them. So what I want you guys to do is now on your own, you're going to pull the other up, pause the video, and then add your own CSS statements where you're going to add so that all paragraph elements are going to be in a red font color. All H2 elements are going to be in green. And we want to change the whole background color of the entire page, the body element, outer blue. So go ahead and pause the video and do so now. All right, and to kind of see how we do that, let's go back to our Replit page. And so if I want to add some new CSS statements to this, well, I'm going to fix indentation got kind of weird. There we go. So the first part was we want all of the paragraph, right, all the paragraph elements to be in red. So I'm going to select every paragraph element, and I'm going to tell it that I want the color to be in red. And then we can click run and just double check. This is the paragraph font right here, so that should change to red. Good. And then the next part was all H2 elements are going to be green, so we want to change all H2 green. Check. This should now be font right there. Good. And then the last thing is we want to change the entire web page to be a powder blue background. So remember, if we want to affect the entire web page, that's going to be, we want to affect the entire body. So the body is the element that we're going to select. I'm going to go to body, and we're going to use the attribute background color. Powder blue is actually one of the types of colors that we Now it's going to change the entire background of. And if you are ever at a loss for which colors actually have their own name, we can go to here and we can always Google CSS colors and then MDN, like Zilla Developer Network. Okay. And look through and see all the different types of colors that we're able to use. Okay. All the different ways that you can assign colors. And if we actually go back and take a look at the color element right here in Cascading Style Sheets, CSS, then if we scroll down, this is actually a really good page because it gives us keyword that we can use and all the different types of colors that we can use just the name of. Okay. So all of these colors are ones that you can just pull up the name. And then if you ever, it also gives the hexadecimal value. So remember, you can either use something like this, or let's say I wanted aquamarine. Let's make it a lot different. This is going to be real ugly, but it'll prove our point. So we could either type in the word fuchsia, run that. Spelling wrong. There we go. Oh my God, that's not very nice to look at, but we now have a background color that is fuchsia. And then remember, you can either use this whole word or you can use its hexadecimal value, which is this bunch of letters and numbers right here, and always preceded by a hashtag, pound sign, call it. So if we take that and paste that in there for the same thing, that is actually going to give us the exact same color, right? So what's nice about the hexadecimal value is you can get any color that you want. And the easiest way for us to do that is to, again, go to Google. And if you type in HTML color picker, Google actually comes up with their own HTML color picker right here. So we don't even really need to go anywhere. And you pick the base color that you want to start with. And then up here, you can just drag and find whatever color that you want. So if I wanted this, actually let's go blue again, right? If I wanted this nice background color of blue, then I'm going to take this hexadecimal value, copy that, my CSS page, just paste that value in there, and when I run it, that is the way that we can change background of whatever element that we're changing the background of. Any color you can do this with, all right? So in the next lesson, we're going to be going over, let's see, just some proper ways to write some more stuff in CSS, and I will see you.